you know anything about real estate, then you know that it is hyper local. You hear the term location, location, location. So while it is very important to look at national real estate data, if you're interested in a specific market, it is way more important to look exactly into that local data. That's exactly what I want to do today. In a few moments, I'm going to share my screen and run you through the exact data pulled from the Horry County and Georgetown MLS for the Greater Myrtle Beach area in South Carolina. But first, my name's Harrison Biddle. I am a local real estate agent in the area, helping buyers, sellers, and investors transact each and every day to accomplish their goals of home ownership or their investment strategies. But with all that being said, let's hop right into it. So I'm going to share my screen, and what I'm showing you today is the market stats for this area. So the first thing that we're going to go over is we're going to go over the sales price, and I'm going to give you guys my live reactions. I hadn't looked at this before recording this video so that you can see my raw reactions to what we're seeing. So if we look right now in our market, the entire MLS, as you see up here in the top left, we're sitting at an average price of $395,000. If I rewind this all the way back to January of 2022, where it says 314,000. So you can see we've come a long way. But if you look at really ever since about mid 2023, we've just been bouncing back and forth, really kind of between the mid 300s up to the highs. We haven't quite hit that 400 number just yet. Currently sitting at about the second or third highest number for average sales price in our area in the history, right? And what's driving this, obviously, is all of the inflation and things like that that we are seeing throughout the country, and obviously people moving here from out of state where 395 is an amazing price for a home, and so they're very comfortable spending that money. But what's very important to look at is how's the market trending? What's going on? So if you look at the new listings, you'll see every single year as we get into October, November, and December, quarter four, you can see the amount of listings dropping off, right? And it's the old saying, oh, I'm just going to wait until after the holidays. I mean, who wants people running through their house during the holidays and they've got their Christmas decorations up and family in town? It's just not an attractive thing for people. But what we do see is a huge spike up in January. So I'm expecting that we'll see that again this coming year. You will see that we did actually see an increase from August to September, which we typically don't. We actually typically see it drop. So it'll be interesting to see what do we see in October. Because every other year it does jump from September to October, except in 2022 when the market started its downward trend in terms of inventory, or I guess increasing inventory. That currently puts us at about 7,400 homes for sale in our market, which you can see is actually going down a little bit, which is a good sign for sellers that we could actually see prices begin to increase in a marginal way here moving forward. But obviously, if you look at this line graph, you can see we are more trending upwards, although more recently it's heading down a little bit. Another reason for this is the pending sales, right? In September, we saw about 1,500 homes go under contract. And if I go back to new listings, you'll saw that we had 2,100, about 2,174 listed. So what does this mean? This means we're seeing more new listings coming into the market than we're seeing homes going under contract. So that means our inventory is still growing. And if you look at the monthly supply, it does look like it went down from August to September. And the biggest reason for that is because our pending sales actually went up, even though we did see more homes come on the market, right? But there was a more pending sales that happened as compared to August. And so that's why the month supply looks like it has gone down. And that's because there are more people buying homes in the more recent months. Now, with that being said, our days on market is heading upwards as well. And what I want to do with this is I'm going to click previously owned. The reason being is new construction can be a little bit misleading. You list a home and it might sell in 30 days, but it takes 6 months to complete. And so you've got 180 days on market because this days on market is pulled from the day it's listed to the day it closes, not necessarily when it goes under contract. So that's why it's important on this to look at previously owned. The median days is 96, whereas the average is 121. Now, it's also important to look at the difference between single family homes and condos, and you'll see about a 28-day difference. You see 110 days on market for single family homes and 138 days on market for condos and townhomes. And you see right here as well, this right here is an increase from month to month. So we saw an increase of 8.7% in days on market for condos and 3.8% for single family homes in the month of September for the days on market. Okay. And obviously, our supply did drop, but again, that's just because we did see more pending sales. Doesn't necessarily mean they're selling faster. It just means that more of them are selling. And if you're a seller, something that's very important to keep an eye on is percentage of list price. If I sell or I list for 300,000, where can I expect offers? A lot of the sellers that I talk to are expecting to get lowballed. They list at 300, they're expecting to get offers at 250. But you'll see that that just is not true. We're sitting at about 96, 97%, whether you look at the average or you look at the median of list price. So if you're at 300,000, you can expect to land somewhere around 290, maybe 295 if you get a little bit lucky and sell it very quickly. Now, the biggest thing that's important to look at for these, and that is single family home actually. Let's take a look at what condos. Condos is about the same, maybe a little bit less and even less on the median. And again, that's because the days on market is increasing. The longer your home is on the market, the less you're going to get in terms of a percentage to your list price. So I'm going to go back up to all property types, all construction types as well here. And you see that the numbers actually go up a little bit. So that can tell us that actually these new constructions are getting a little bit closer to their asking price, which is something that we are expecting to see. Now, the big thing that a lot of people are missing here recently is how many showings is it taking to go under contract? In the month of September, the average was 10.8 showings, whereas the median was actually only 7. So that means that on average, it is taking 10 showings, 10, 11 showings to get an acceptable offer on your home. Doesn't mean that you're not getting an offer before, but that's how long it's taking to get an offer that sellers are happy to accept. Now, that may sound great. Oh, I can get 10 showings in a month, or can you? The next thing that we want to look at is the shows per listing. This is a monthly data point where you're seeing about 2.6 showings per month per listing. And if we go back to the month supply, you'll see that it's sitting at about 5.3 months. And if it takes, if you get 2.5 showings a month, and it takes about 10, 11 showings to get a sale, that's right around those numbers. So it's important to make sure that those numbers are backing into each other, which they are. So what does that show us? That shows us stability. Doesn't mean that the market's great, but it shows us that we're not seeing any huge increases or huge decreases. And for a lot of people, this is important. If you don't know what to expect and you're getting into a market that feels uncertain, it can be a little bit scary. And so this is why I wanted to pull up the exact information of what we are seeing in our market today. And guys, this is something that I want to continue to do. I want to bring these market stats from InfoSparks directly to you every single month from the MLS. But what I really want to know is what surprised you here? What are you more interested in learning more about that I could possibly cover in my next video? If you have any questions, please leave a comment below or reach out to me directly. All of my contact information will be in the description below, and I can't wait to hear from you soon.